The 3-1, and Acuna swings. It's a high drive to left center field. Taylor back at the wall. It is gone. A grand slam for Acuna.
Where did Juan Soto land in the top 10 left fielders entering 2020? What is going on, guys? My name is Brett. Today in this video, I'm going to bring you the top 10 left fielders entering 2020 in Major League Baseball. I want you in the comment section down below. Rate me your list of the top 10 left fielders from 1 through 10 and compare my list to yours. Before we get started, if you're new around here, subscribe, hit that notification bell. This way you can receive my videos when it's uploaded. And the notification squad of the day is going towards John Lennon himself. He said this is my favorite song of all time regarding to my last video. So if you want to watch that video, the link will be in the description below as well. If you do enjoy this video, make sure you leave a like. And let's get started. This is the top 10 left fielders entering 2020. The major key right now is that the opening day is delayed. So one certain player could be higher than what's listed right now. So let me know down in the comment section below your list. And let's get started. It's the top 10 left fielders entering 2020 Major League Baseball Fantasy Baseball rankings. So starting off my top 10 list, Giancarlo Cruz Mike Stanton. So last season, he only played 18 games, but he hit 3 home runs, 13 RBIs, batted .288, OPS plus 138. It was a very injury-prone season for Giancarlo Stanton. So last season, like I said, he was very injury-prone. So he had 2 different IL stints for his left bicep and also his right knee sprain. So last season was a wash season for him. He did come back for the postseason and he did okay. He didn't play for a couple games against the Astros, but Giancarlo Stanton, if he stays healthy, he's going to be a top 25 player. If. 2017 and 2018, he played 159 games, 158 games. In 2017, he won the MVP. So Giancarlo Stanton can be a top 25 player if he stays healthy. He is a sleeper pick this season. He's getting drafted in the 11th round. Giancarlo Stanton getting drafted in the 11th round. So the reason why I put him as number 10 is because if he's very injury prone and he plays like maybe half the season, he's going to be like a number 10 left fielder. But if he stays healthy, he could be a top 3, top 4 left fielder. Because Giancarlo Stanton can be a top 25 player overall if he stays healthy. Hits 40 home runs, 100 RBIs, and has that batting average that normal is OPS plus above 130. He can be a top 25 player if he stays healthy. What really benefits Giancarlo Stanton right now is the season being delayed. So right now he is hurt, he's getting trained, and he's preparing for the season right now, but he needs a little time to recover. If the season gets delayed to like May or June, Giancarlo Stanton should be a top 6 overall left fielder because he's going to stay healthy, has all that time to recover and maintain his health. If I was drafting now, I would pick Giancarlo Stanton like the 7th, 8th round, ahead of the 11th, the 10th round, because Giancarlo Stanton, if he's healthy, like I say, is going to be a top 25 player. If the season's going to be played in like late April, I will say pick him like around 8th or 9th round. Season's going to be delayed to like May or June. You can pick him up earlier because, like I said, Giancarlo Stanton, he can produce major numbers for you. Number 10 is going to be Giancarlo Stanton. So number 9, Joey Gallo. So Joey Gallo is known for the 3 true outcomes: strikeouts, walks, and home runs. There's no other player can probably define about this besides like Chris Davis. But Chris Davis is not good anymore. Last season he played 70 games, hit 22 home runs, 49 RBIs, struck out 114, OPS plus 145, and he was an all-star. Typically, Joey Gallo in 2017 and 2018 hit 40 home runs, but he strikes out over 200 times. But last season, he only played 70 games compared to 145 and 148. So like I said, Joey Gallo is the 3 true outcomes. He gets home runs, he gets walks, and he gets strikeouts. 59% of his plate appearances are either a home run, a strikeout, or a walk. So last season he had 22 home runs in 70 games, but he got hurt twice, and that cost him his season. But he could be a top 25 player when it comes to home run power and when it comes to points leagues. But what really cost him when it comes to points leagues is going to be the -1 for strikeouts. He's actually very good for categories unless you pick up other people that can help with your batting average, because he's going to have a low batting average. That's why he's not in like the top rounds. If his batting average was like really good, like probably 270, 280, he's going to be a third or a fourth round pick. So right now his average draft position is 57.8. So he's going late in the 6th round, which is kind of high for him. I would pick him like probably the 7th or 8th round if he's there. For a good scenario, let's say if you wanted Pete Alonso, but someone took him in the 3rd round, you could pick up Joey Gallo in the 6th. But the only thing you have to compensate is going to be the batting average. I believe Joey Gallo is going to return the home run power because he's going to have a new ballpark. He does have more people in that lineup. So number 9, Joey Gallo. So number 8, Eloy Jimenez. So Eloy last season was his very first season. He played 122 games, hit 31 home runs, 79 RBIs, batted .267, OPS plus 117, and he was 4th in Rookie of the Year. What I like about Eloy Jimenez, that was his very first season. Now the White Sox has more protection. They did pick up Yasmani Grandal and Juan Soto, so there's going to be less pressure on him to do well. I mean, last season it was a very pressure season because he got that big contract before he even started. He got that big contract before he even played the game. So the White Sox like to offer a club-friendly contract. It does have some risk involved, but Eloy Jimenez had a very good season, especially for a rookie season. What I do like about Eloy Jimenez, his last 59 games, he batted .292 with a .328 OPS, a .542 slugging, hit 15 home runs. Also in September, he batted .340 average with 9 home runs in 24 games. So he does have the potential to do very well. And Eloy Jimenez's average draft position right now is 57.7. So you do have a choice, Joey Gallo or Eloy Jimenez. With Joey Gallo, you do know what to expect. The home runs, the high strikeouts, and the walks. Eloy Jimenez is going to give you a little bit of both. He's going to give you home runs, RBIs. Average is going to be a little bit more, but he's not going to give you 200 strikeouts. So Eloy does have some risk involved. I do expect him to repeat those same numbers because he has more protection on lineup, and plus that ballpark is so easy for hitters to do well. So number 8, Eloy Jimenez. So number 7, Michael Brantley. Michael Brantley is finally getting some love. He does deserve a much higher pick than his average draft position right now, but last season he played 148 games, drove in 22 home runs, 90 RBIs, batting average .311, OPS plus 126, and he was an all-star. So Michael Brantley is a very undervalued pick because his average draft position right now is number 99. He's getting drafted in the 10th round, and he's batting .311. And he's getting 22 home runs, 90 RBIs, and he's getting 40 doubles. So like I said in my previous fantasy baseball ranking videos, when you get a higher number of doubles, it correlates to a higher number of home runs for the following season. So Michael Brantley bats 2nd or 3rd in the Houston Astros lineup, so he's going to have a lot of opportunities sandwiched between Jose Altuve and also Alex Bregman. So he's going to have a lot of opportunities pitch to hit because they don't want to pitch to Jose Altuve. They don't want to pitch to Alex Bregman. They're going to pitch to Michael Brantley, and that's why his batting average is going to maintain above 300. So Michael Brantley, he's very good for points. He's excellent for categories because he can raise your batting average up. And Michael Brantley right now, like I said, his average draft position is in the 10th round. He should be much higher than that. He should be like 8th, 7th round. And right now I do have him above certain players right now because of that batting average. He does have more opportunities because of that lineup in that ballpark. So I do prefer Michael Brantley over other players. I am a huge Michael Brantley fan, and also the amount of doubles he does produce. So Michael Brantley is going to be number 7, and if he's there, I would pick him up early than later just because of the batting average and the doubles and the RBIs and also the opportunities that does he have. So number 7, Michael Brantley. So number 6, Eddie Rosario. You know what to expect from him. Last season, he played 137 games, hit 32 home runs, 109 RBIs, batted .276, OPS plus 106, which is kind of low, and it was 18th at MVP. What I like about Eddie Rosario, he's very consistent when it comes to overall numbers, but he's a very streaky hitter. Like, one month he do very well, and the next month he won't. At the end, his numbers are going to be the same because every single season it's always like 25 plus home runs, near 80 RBIs. His average is going to be always like around 270, 280 batting average. So Eddie Rosario, he's a very good fantasy left fielder because you know what to expect from him. You know you're going to get 270 to 280 batting average. You know you're going to get probably 25 to 30 home runs. You know you're going to get like about 80 to 100 RBIs. But he's a very streaky hitter. He reminds me of Justin Upton, but Justin Upton did not make my list. He's outside the top 10. So Eddie Rosario's average draft position right now is number 63.4. So he's going early in the 7th round, and that's actually pretty good for him because Eddie Rosario, you know what to expect. He's a very streaky hitter, but you know his numbers are going to be the same when it comes to end of the season. So coming as number 6, Eddie Rosario. So number 5, Marcell Ozuna. So last season he played 130 games, drove in 29 home runs, 89 RBIs, batted .241, OPS plus 107. It was a down season for him, and it was the second season in St. Louis. What I don't like about St. Louis Cardinals hitters, their averages always decrease no matter what they do. You look at Paul Goldschmidt, you look at Matt Carpenter, no matter what they do, their batting averages are always low. So Marcell Ozuna right now, he's very sneaky because he's going from St. Louis to the Braves. And the Braves ballpark is much better. Their lineup is so much deeper. So I expect Marcell Ozuna's numbers to increase. So his average draft position right now is number 65.9. So he's going in the middle of the 7th round, which is perfect for him. I would even go for a 6th round for him. Because Marcell Ozuna, like I said, better ballpark, better lineup. So you know his batting average is not going to be 241 when it comes to 2020. His batting average is going to be closer to his career norms like 280, 312, 266, 259. So another factor you have to consider, Marcell Ozuna is in a pillow contract, meaning he took a 1-year deal just to prove himself again. Because he could have got a multi-year deal last offseason, but he chose not to. So he wants to prove something. He wants money when it comes to 2021. He's going to try to produce better numbers than last season. I do expect somewhere between 30-35 home runs. Marcell Ozuna probably the 6th round instead of the 7th round. Keep that in mind because the ballpark is better, the lineup is better, and you know he's not going to hit 241 again. So number 4, Austin Meadows. The last season was his first full season. He played 138 games, drove in 33 home runs, 89 RBIs, 291 batting average, OPS plus 143. That's really high. He was an all-star. He was 14th at MVP. Man, that Chris Archer trade is really lopsided right now, including Glass now. So last season was his first full season, and he's playing for the Tampa Bay Rays, so I do expect him to repeat those same numbers. He can give you stolen bases. In his last 50 games, he batted .294, drove in 17 home runs, 38 RBIs. Damn, he went on a tear his last 50 games. So he does have a potential to be the top 25 player or a top 40 for points leagues. If he can repeat those same numbers, I would pick him up because I do think he's going to repeat those same numbers, especially that ballpark, especially that lineup, and plus all the AL East ballparks are very hitter friendly. His average draft position is 42.8, getting drafted in the 5th round, which is kind of high for him. But honestly, Austin Meadows, if he's there and no one else is there and you need a left fielder, I would pick him up because Austin Meadows, he's going to repeat those same numbers. I wouldn't draft him for like a guarantee for those numbers. I would draft him for the potential. There is a risk for that, but I would draft him for that potential. If he can repeat those numbers, I would say go for it. But I wouldn't draft him in the 5th round, maybe in the 6th round. But Austin Meadows, if no one else is there and you're like, I need a left fielder right now, I would draft Austin Meadows. Number 3, Juan Soto. Last season, he had a monstrous season. He played 150 games, drove in 34 home runs, 110 RBIs. It did steal more bases, 12 stolen bases. His batting average was 282, OPS plus 138, and he was 9th in MVP. So this is from his following season when he was 2nd in Rookie of the Year, and he batted 292, and his home runs and RBIs increased, and he got more hits. He went from 5 stolen bases to 12 stolen bases. He's definitely improving with those numbers. And Juan Soto's average draft position is number 10, so he's going in the first round, early the second round. I would say go for it 100%. And last season, and just remember, he's only 20 years old. And so last season, he was the top 10 in on-base percentage with 401. OPS with 949, walks 108, runs created 128. In his final 50 games, he batted 276, a 405 on-base percentage, a 606 slugging. He managed with 13 home runs and 39 RBIs in the last 50 games. Right now, Juan Soto, I would 100% pick him, definitely in the second round. I would definitely draft him if he's in the second round. If you're picked 10 and 11, I will pick him as well. I want to reach for him if you're in the top 9 picks. I would 100% draft him if he's in the second round. If you're picked 9 and 10, I would say go for it. If your picks 1 through 8, I wouldn't say go for Juan Soto. You definitely have other choices. That you can draft for. The only problem with Juan Soto, there's less protection in the lineup. Anthony Rendon is not in the lineup anymore. So that's the only downside right now. But you could still draft him. He's still going to produce those same numbers. He's going to have less pitches to hit because more pitchers are going to pitch around him now. Because Anthony Rendon is no longer in that lineup. I mean, right now you have Starlin Castro. You do have other people that could probably protect him more, but he doesn't have Anthony Rendon anymore. So that's the only downside right now. But Juan Soto is definitely a top 10 player right now, and I would pick him if he's definitely in the second round. So number 3, Juan Soto. So number 2, Ronald Acuna Jr. Acuna Matata is going to be number 2. This is probably the most hardest debate. Is Acuna number 2 or number 1? This is so close. But last season, he played 156 games. So he led the league. So last season, he played 156 games. He led the league in plate appearances, 715, runs, 127, and stolen bases, 37. So he drove in 41 home runs, 101 RBIs, batted 280, OPS plus 122. He was an all-star. He was 5th in MVP, and he was a Silver Slugger award. So Acuna Jr. is probably the closest player right now, besides Trout, that can produce 40-40 numbers, meaning 40 home runs and 40 stolen bases. Like I said, he led the league in stolen bases for 37, and he hit 41 home runs. So right now, I would definitely draft Acuna if he's there, because his average draft position right now is 4. So he's going drafted as the 4th best player. So if he's there and you have the opportunity to pick Acuna, I would definitely pick him, because a 280 batting average, 100 plus runs, 40 home runs, close to 100 RBIs, and plus a 40 potential stolen base opportunities. I would definitely pick him up. The only downside about him right now, last season he had 30% of swing and misses in 2019, which is kind of high for him. So that's the only downside. So that means if it's going to be a points league, it's going to be a lot of -1s for Ks. Category league, 100% you're going to draft him. Acuna Matata, Acuna Jr. I would definitely draft him because of his potential. You get the high runs, the high hits, the stolen bases, the batting average, the home runs, and there's only one part that's missing from him. That's why he's number 1. Especially that ballpark is very good for hitters. The lineup is deep. There's other players that's going to help him, that's going to be beneficial for him. So Acuna is going to be number 2 because the number 1 pick obviously is going to be a little bit better. But if you have the opportunity, I would say 100% draft him because Acuna is going to be a top 5 overall player because of those numbers. And he's only 21 years old. Next season is going to be 22. If he's going to produce this as a 21-year-old, what else is he going to do? I mean, as a 22-year-old, left fielder, he's going to produce insane numbers. I can't wait for this kind of numbers. And if I had the opportunity to draft him, 100% you're going to draft him no matter what, unless you're in the top 3 overall pick. So Acuna Jr. is going to be the 2nd overall left fielder, and there's only one player that's better than him. There's only 2 outfielders that's better than him right now, and one of them is Mike Trout. And there's only 2 outfielders that are better than him right now, and one of them is Mike Trout, and he's not on this list right now. And the second one is coming up right now. So number 2, Ronald Acuna Jr. And your winner, Christian Yelich. Christian Yelich is going to be your best overall left fielder available right now. So last season was a shortened season because he got hurt. But last season he played 130 games, drove in 44 home runs, 97 RBIs with only 130 games. Batted .329. He led the league. So he led the league in batting average, .329. He led the league in batting average, .329. He led the league in on-base percentage, .429. Led the league in slugging percentage, .671. And he led the league in on-base percentage. So he led the league in on-base plus slugging, 1.100. OPS plus 179. That is insane. And he was all-star. He was 2nd MVP. He should have won MVP if he stayed healthy, and Silver Slugger Award. So like I said, it was a shortened season because he got hurt, and he was on pace to put insane numbers. So he missed about 20 games, so you could probably add another 5 to 10 home runs, another 10 to 15 RBIs, and that batting average, that slugging OPS, oh my god, if he stayed healthy, he was going to produce insane numbers. And that was kind of sad because, I mean, Cody Bellinger didn't win the MVP, but Christian Yelich did deserve it if he stayed healthy. It was going to put insane numbers. So right now his average draft position is number 3.5. So he's getting drafted either the 3rd or 4th overall in the 1st round. So the main difference between Yelich and Acuna right now is the batting average. Because Acuna is batting .280 and Yelich is in the 320s, the 316s. Like, this is insane. So Yelich cut down his ground ball rate. When he's playing for the Marlins, it was up to 56%. Last season was 43%. And his average velo is 93.1, which is career best. He's still in bases, and he's producing his career high numbers. I do expect Yelich to produce the same numbers. I mean, the ballpark is very good for hitters. The lineup is not as deep as it was for Acuna, but he's a top 2 player right now. And if you have the opportunity to draft him, 100% draft him, because I don't know what else you're going to draft then. Because after Trout, it's going to be Trout, Yelich. If you have the opportunity, 100% you're going to draft the Yelich, because Yelich is going to produce about 40 home runs, 100 RBIs. So Yelich did get paid. He got that monster contract. And like I said, he's going to steal bases for you. He's going to drive in home runs, RBIs, runs, the high batting average. So let me know down in the comment section below. How was your list compared to mine? Did you have the same players, from 1 through 10? If you didn't, let me know down in the comment section below your reason and why. And rate your players, because it's fun doing this list. I know the season's going to be delayed a little bit. That's why I push these fantasy baseball rankings a little farther than usual. But Yelich is definitely number 1, Acuna definitely number 2. You can debate it a little bit more, but Yelich has the upper hand because of the batting average. If you do enjoy this type of video, leave a like, pass along videos, it really helps it grow. You can always follow me at Twitter, TheBrettBurnz, and also Instagram, Brett.Burnz. I always got the Patreons, $2 a month. You get a shout out all my videos. Don't forget about the notification squad of the day, and also about the t-shirts. That link will be in the description below. I'll see you guys next. Peace, guys. Thank you. Bye.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? This is just words now. Yeah, I can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right. It feels right. It feels right. Yeah, I can only say that it feels right. It feels right. It feels right. Yeah, I can only say that it feels right. So right, so right. It's alright. I'm just going with the gut. Never had a doubt, felt like this is just a must. Put me in perspective, I'm the deepest in the cut. Everybody tuning in, but this is just for us now.